It starts with a sound, a deep guttural rumble, that you feel more than you hear. It vibrates in your chest, and travels through the soles of your feet. The rumble builds into a deafening roar, a symphony of 8 jet engines pushing against still air. This is a B-52 Stratofortress, preparing to unchain itself from the earth. On the runway, it's a colossal beast, nearly 159 feet long, with a wingspan to match. It seems almost too large, too heavy, to ever fly, but then it begins to move. A maximum speed takeoff isn't routine, it's calculated, reserved for specific conditions and high-stakes missions. Not the gentle climb of an airliner, this is raw power. The goal, get a massive, heavily laden bomber airborne. Quickly, and decisively. Faster climb-out can evade threats, clear obstacles, and lift immense payloads. To understand the takeoff, you must first understand the plane. The B-52 has served since the 1950s, an icon of American air power. Crews call it the buff, big, ugly, fat fellow, over 159 feet long, and a 185-foot span, wider than the Wright brothers' first flight. 8 Pratt & Whitney TF-33 turbofans, mounted in pairs, 4 pods slung beneath swept wings, each generating thousands of pounds of thrust. Together, enough to lift 488,000 pounds. Fuel, munitions, mission, everything scales huge. Born for intercontinental deterrence, adapted for today. Many airframes from the 60s still fly, heavily upgraded. Advanced avionics, navigation, targeting, and precision weapons. Inside, all business, a working aircraft, not a cabin. Missions can last over a day with aerial refueling. A flying paradox, relic and relevance all at once. The modern B-52 crew is 5 highly trained specialists. Pilot and co-pilot fly the jet, hands on the controls. Navigator plots and monitors the course. Radar navigator manages weapons employment. Electronic warfare officer scans for threats and counters them. During takeoff, teamwork becomes a choreographed ballet. Communication is constant, crisp, and clear.
100 knots, 120, V1.
V1, the point of no return. Before V1 you can stop, after V1 you must fly. This composure comes from relentless simulator hours, engine failures, fires, system malfunctions, repeat until automatic. They anticipate each other, 5 minds acting as one. On the runway they're a single unit with a giant in their hands. Absolute focus, precise inputs, perfect timing. That's how the buff leaves the ground with confidence. Long before the roar, a meticulous ritual is underway. Maximum effort flights start with planning and maintenance. Maintainers inspect what they know by heart: engines, hydraulics, landing gear, flight controls verified, panel fasteners tight, tires, brakes and pressures must be perfect. Fuel is calculated to the pound. Meanwhile, the crew briefs the mission. Weight, balance, runway length, every variable counted. Elevation, temperature, pressure, wind, performance lives here. Decision speeds and remaining concrete, no surprises. They rehearse contingencies and assign responsibilities. Everything accounted for. The machine is ready. The crew is ready. The runway awaits. Cleared for takeoff, the B-52 centers on the stripe. Final checklist complete. Hands and feet poised. Throttles forward. Engines spool from rumble to thunder. Nearly 140,000 pounds of thrust shoves the giant ahead. Acceleration builds, markers flash by, speed rising, 80 knots, 100 V1, before V1, idle, spoilers, shoot, brakes, after, no runway to stop, committed to flight, rotate, nose lifts, main still planted, then the wheels leave the pavement, the ground falls away, the giant is airborne. The most feared event is an engine failure during the roll. Asymmetric thrust yaws the jet, counter with decisive rudder. After V1, you fly it off, no second chances. Fire, shut down, isolate, extinguish. By the book at speed. Bird strikes can shred turbines, unpredictable and violent. A blown tire brings vibration and control challenges. Before V1, reject. After, climb, assess, and plan the landing. Survival depends on instant diagnosis and flawless execution. That is why they train until it's reflex. And why the B-52 keeps making the sky shake. Max speed takeoffs start with physics, lift versus weight. Faster airflow over the wing means more lift. Heavy weight demands higher speed to climb. Flaps add lift, but also drag, so settings must be optimal. It takes length, often over 10,000 feet, and reinforced concrete. Bases like Barksdale and Minot are built for this. Surroundings must be clear for a safe initial climb. Stop distance rises exponentially with speed. V1 is absolute. Past V1 there's not enough concrete or time to shed energy, so you fly, then solve problems aloft. The jet and the airfield share the load of physics. When a B-52 thunders into the sky, it carries more than fuel and weapons. It carries history, over 7 decades of deterrence. From Cold War alert to modern precision missions, a beloved icon and a spectacle of capability, not sleek or stealthy, brute force and reach. Power and payload still relevant. In an age of drones and cyber, its presence still sends signals. More than a machine, a living legend, a piece of history writing new chapters, enduring strength in a changing world. The message is clear, the old warrior still answers the call. So why watch in awe in 2025? Because a max speed takeoff is preparation, skill and trust made visible. It tests the machine and the human spirit. Even now, some tasks demand a human hand. Readiness for any field, any load, any mission. Relentless training builds calm under pressure. The people keep the legend safe and lethal. Power, precision, dedication. Supported by a new generation, the B-52 remains vital. The maximum speed takeoff is more than a procedure. It's a statement. Still ready, still capable, still inspiring awe wherever it flies.